Hi everyone, and welcome to our video on a more challenging Venn diagram, cardinal number Venn diagram problem. We left off this video and I said let's take a pause because of the computer problems that I might have, hopefully not, but let's see how this one goes. Okay, so either way, it's the same strategy that I did here. I want to figure out what's important for me, start to fill in my Venn diagram. Notice they're using different letters, but I see three of them, W, X, and Y. So let's go ahead and make this again extra large so you can have plenty of room to put in all your numbers. Okay, so there's my A, there's my B, there's my C. So A, B, C, universe. Nope, not A, B, C, sorry. I said there's different letters. Let's make it so they're the correct letters. W, X, and Y. So W, X, Y. All right, so there they go. And it doesn't really matter where you put these actual letters. If you do put them in different spots, the answer will look different, the numbers wise, but the final answer to like number 2 and 3 would be the same. Okay, so I'm just kind of going in alphabetical order like the A, B, and C did. All right, so going through this, notice the number of elements in W equals 13 does not help because it's 4 blank regions. So moving on, and then they start giving us these ones. All right, well, either way, I'm seeing 2 sets involved. So I'm going to kind of skip all of the ones that have 2 sets and look at the ones that have 3 sets. I think these can be more helpful. So for instance, this number I am going to mark as number 1. Okay, so I'm skipping all these. The one I see right now that catches my attention is the one with 3. This is saying the intersection of all 3 sets is 4. The intersection of all 3 sets is right in the middle. So that's always a good one to start at. So that's awesome that they give it to us. Sometimes they might not, but we can eventually figure it out. Okay, so there's that. And then from there, I can start to eyeball and see what's important to me. But even this bottom one has 3 sets in it. So I'm going to mark that. Let's also mark it in black ink for now. The number of elements not in W and not in X and not in Y. Okay, so it's not X, or not, did I say X first? Not in W, not X, not Y. So it's not inside this circle, it's not inside this circle, and it's not inside this circle. So I'm just trying to use words for this part only because the sketch would get pretty messy. It's just saying not inside W and not inside W or X and not inside Y. So the only part that would overlap with all of them, remember the and is the overlap, would be the complete outside. So that means I'm just going to put 5 right here. Okay, so these 2 are accounted for. So not inside W, not inside X, and not inside Y is the complete outside. Okay, then moving on, let's see what else we could fill in. Let's go to my purple. I think we could do this. Number 3 here. Okay, so the number of elements in W and Y. So that's the football shape between W and Y. The football shape right here already has 4 elements. It's saying it needs 6. So I need to add 2 then to make 6. Okay, so W and Y needs to add up to 6. I already had 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. Okay, and then let me keep my color going on with these other ands. So number 4, let's keep in the purple. This one's saying the number of elements in X and Y is also 6. Well, here's X, here's Y. 4 is already counted for. So again, I need another 2 to give me that 6. So there's the X and Y information. Okay, and then this one also has an and symbol on it, so I know it's involving overlap. Let me go ahead and do, let me do a different color though, because it's a little harder to see right away. Okay, so this is the number of elements in W and not X. Okay, so this is where I would say, hey, probably make a quick sketch. So here's like my number 5 that I numbered. And I've got my 3 circles. And then the W, X, and Y are right there. Okay, so W and not X. Okay, so here's W, I'm going to just do a quick dot, dot, dot. So it's those 4. And not X. Okay, so outside of X would be this one, this one. Oh, that's where the small picture doesn't work as well, but it's right there is in it. Let me just go ahead and bold the ones that would have been in common at this point. So I'm just going to fill it all in. So it's those 2 regions there that I started to shade. So the ones that were not in X, here it is in words. We could break it down in words. So not in X. So that means I'm so far in, let me go ahead and put dots on this and I'll erase them. Not in X would be these 4 dots. And still in W though. Okay, so still in W, that with these 4 dots would be this dot and this dot are the only ones that are also in W. Okay, so it's these 2 regions then that are important to us. The one that has 2 in it, and then it needs to add up to be 6. So that means right here is a 4. So 4 plus 2 needs to be 6. Yep, we got it. Okay, so I'm hoping that diagram helps out. So this is where the small picture, so that's why I say make these big. Small picture, I was running a little low on the spacing, so I just decided to fill in what was important. Okay, so notice what is left over in this picture are my little symbols that did not have any overlap to them, so they would be left out. Okay, anyway, moving on. Let's also do, okay, so let's do in green. This will be my number 6. Oops. Hold on, my dog's going crazy. Okay, sorry, the dog was going crazy. It's fixed now, I think. All right, so we were talking about number 6 here in the green. Okay, and the reason that I'm choosing this as number 6 is because it has the and symbol in it. Usually and means that you have fewer regions to deal with than the union symbol. Okay, so this number 6 I want to try to take care of. Okay, so for number 6, it's saying that I have to find the elements in X and not Y. Okay, so X and not Y. So that means, let me go ahead and try to mark it. Let me go ahead and just try to mark it on here and see if it gets too messy. I'm going to use little pluses. So these are the 4 elements in X. Or the 4 regions, I mean. Sorry, not elements. 4 regions of X. And then it's saying and not Y. So I want the overlap of what I've currently marked with not Y. Okay, so not the parts that are in Y then for these 4 green marks. So not these 2 in the football shape. So it turns out I want this one and this one. Oop, it freaked out again. So there's a little button on my pin that makes it go to the top for run. There we go. Okay, so that means it's this region and that region. Okay, so that means, well, it doesn't look like I have enough information actually for number 6. Okay, because the 2 regions are completely blank. Okay, so, oops, oh well. And that means I need to come back to it later. So maybe the union symbol would have been better. Let's go back and take a look. Or the W. So again, the order doesn't matter. Actually, looking at W, so 6 I'm leaving blank. Notice I'm not going to put the check mark because I haven't done it yet. Let's go to orange now, so using lots of colors. Okay, so the number of elements in W is 13. Well, W is these 4 regions inside the W circle. I do have 3 of them accounted for, which add up to 10. 4 plus 4 plus 2 is 10. So that means I need another 3 to make 13. Check. All right, it's got it. And then now I can go back to number 6. Okay, so the dot, let me just put it, I'm saying, all right, I'm at 6 right now. I'm about to put my check mark on it because we had the plus sign with the circle saying that those were the regions that were part of number 6. So 3 have been accounted for. That means 8 more would make 11. There we go. Okay, so I had to go to numbers, I had to stop my number 6, and that can happen, okay, so that's fine. As long as we know, so that's why I do the check marks and the numbers to keep track of what I've used and what I have not used. Okay, so one more. Let's use this light blue. Number 8. Okay, so number 8 is the union of x or y is 22. Okay, so x or y, it's all of the regions in x or y. Okay, so all of the regions in both of these right here. So again, maybe I don't know if I want to put little symbols on it. Let me go ahead. I've got enough room to make this other sketch. So sometimes I'm trying to break it down into words where we can fill it in based on the words. Sometimes I'm saying, all right, how about we use a side sketch? Okay, so x or y is all of the regions in x plus all the regions in y. There we go. So it's these 6 regions. Okay, so those are all the ones that are in x or y. So not the last part of w and not outside of all the circles. Okay, so that way we do see I have 3. So with this 22, 3 plus 8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2 plus the one last blank one that's going to get filled in needs to add up to 22. And so let's see what this does add up to, and then from there we could fill in that number. Okay, so we've got 15 plus 4 is 19, so it's 19. It's going to be a 3. So this is 3. Okay, so that's the 8th thing that we could have filled in based on our information. Okay, or at least the order I did it in. Maybe you could have done some of these in a different order, but I think that probably was the last thing that would have been useful for us. Okay, so there's everything. Everything's involved. We got all of it ready to go. Okay, and at this point, it might be worthwhile to even scratch out some of those symbols, or if you're using pencil to erase. I'm not sure. I'm going to go ahead and erase these symbols. Whoa, that was too much of a erase. Yep. And it freaked out one more time. There we go. Okay, so I didn't want to erase that circle. So I'm just getting rid of the little symbols, because that's a little messy. Okay, so if they don't bug you, you keep them in there. Okay, but there it is, completely clean. All right, and then now I can answer these questions. All right, so these also maybe will take some sketches to figure out where they are. Okay, so this is saying find the number of elements that are in X and not W. Okay, so in X and not W. So I could sketch a new one here if I need a completely clean one in case you couldn't erase, to figure out what regions they're talking about. So here's my W, X, Y. Okay, so they're saying inside of X, let's go ahead and might as well use some colors again. So inside of X is these 4 regions, and outside of W. So the and is where they intersect. Let's go ahead and use that. Let me go back to regular blue. Okay, so and not W. So it's saying where the overlap between X and not W. So it's well, not W. If I do want to mark it with the little plus signs, I can. So there's the 4 regions that are not W. And so we can see, I'm going to highlight, these are the 2 regions that are in both, that are common in both. Okay, so that means I need to just take the numbers that corresponded to those, so it's 8 and 2, and add those together. All right, so there we go. So we got our answer for that one. And then one more. We've got the number of elements in W or Y and not X. Okay, well, let's go ahead and sketch one more. Let's get it, I hope, big enough. So W, X, Y, like before. Okay, so W or Y. W or Y. I'm going to group those together because I know the ors just include everything in both. So here's everything that's in W or Y. So it's those 6 regions, and we kind of saw it in the blue, a little variation on it. Okay, and then it says and not X. So let me go ahead and mark the not X. Okay, so not X is outside of the X circle. So it's the completely outside region. This one, this one, and this one. Okay, and so where do they have a common? Regions is our final answer. So now I'm kind of doing the and portion. Well, they're common here, here, and here. So those three regions added together then is our final answer. So it looks like that's the 4 plus the 2 plus the 3 there to give us 9. There we go. Okay. Okay, so this one got a little crazier on us with these letters, but I mean, it's just the way I think is best to strategize for these problems is to just go through it, see what goes in. If you can, the thing that has the most intersections is probably where you'd want to start. And then from there, keep finding the intersections that are useful, make these sketches as needed, or do the little marks that like I did to really help figure it out. We could double check some of these things with each other. Okay, so all the time, they take time, but so take your time. Okay, and be patient with it. Okay, other than that, that's it. All right, so thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.